And then I tried to get on the Johnny Carson show. In New York, I had friends that saw my act and knew Rudy Tellez, the producer, and they wanted me. They said, you should see this guy. He's funny and he's a good magician and everything. But it just, they just didn't even want to look at a kinescope, a 16 millimeter film I had of my act, you know. And it just went on and on. So I finally just kind of gave up. A little bit later, I had a good friend named Felix Greenfield, who was the head honcho with Warner Brothers Studios. He was the national publicity director for this big movie studio. And he had clout everywhere in the news media and television and everything. And he tried so hard to get them to look at my a film I had of my ladder levitation, this trick that's supposed to fool everybody and everything. And they couldn't care less. They wouldn't even look. And he says, I don't know what's wrong with these guys. I've tried and tried, Walter. I can't even get them to look. They don't know if you're good or bad. They just won't even look. Later, one lady came up at a Texas Pharmaceutical Association, and she loved my show. She said, have you been on the Johnny Carson show? No, I'd like to. Well, I went to school with Rudy Tellez. He's the producer, and I'm going to tell him about you and everything. That meant nothing. You know, he wasn't even a bit interested. Just on the lark, I called my friend Milt Larson. Milt had a wonderful guy that was the head scenic designer on The Tonight Show. And, I said, you know, I know you know John Schramm, and I know every friend of yours in magic says, can you get me on The Tonight Show? But, you know, I do have a good trick, and you've seen it, and you like it, and Bill loves it, and everything. Do you think you could maybe arrange just an audition? I said, I'll even set it up on the sidewalk outside the men's room. When a guy comes in to do his business, he can look out the window for 3 minutes and, okay, I saw it, and I'll be a gentleman and say thank you. But Milt said, well, let me talk to John and I'll see what we can do. And within a few days, Milt calls and said, hey, they are willing to look at it, come in and just set it up, and we'll have a few people look at it, and they'll decide, you know. Now I'm excited. It's about 2 weeks off, and I'm getting ready to go catch the airplane to San Diego, and I'm thinking I'm going to get to audition my big trick on the Johnny Carson Tonight Show. And so the phone rings as I'm going out to the door to the thing, and he said, Walter, this is Milt. Hey, Milt, how you doing? Everything okay? And he said, well, I don't know how to tell you this, but you're not going to audition for the Tonight Show. I said, oh, well, after 7 years of trying, I figured something probably go wrong. What happened? He said, well, I'll tell you why. You want to know why you're not going to audition? I said, yeah. He said, because, ta-da, you're booked on the Carson Show. Johnny, as a magician, has read magazines. He's heard about this trick. He knows it's fooled everybody. He doesn't think it could fool him. He's even coming in early to camera rehearsal to see it. And I said, you got to be kidding. He said, no. And so do a good job and you'll be on. So, boy, I go there and I set up and I get everything set up and I'm walking in with a tape recorder to play the music because the band's not there. This is not the band rehearsal, it's the camera rehearsal. And they said, oh, you don't need any music. And I said, well, no, I've got to have music. No, the union won't allow that. Just, you can't use that tape recorder. And I said, well, I wish I'd known. Is there a piano player I could hire real quick? I'll pay for it. No, just do it. We don't need any. I said, well, I need some music. Does anybody have a tissue paper and a comb? And they kind of chuckle and everything. And I hear a piano playing off to my left. And I see a grand piano over there, and the guy's playing the piano. And I have a minute, and I walk over and I said, I'm in a real tight. I've got to have music for this thing. I guess you've heard I'm going to float a lady in the air. I'm going to float Irene Kay, Johnny Carson's secretary. Johnny's here. I see him over there. I got to be good. I need music. Do you know Lady of Spain? Do you play by ear? And he says, let's see, Lady of Spain, I adore you. And I said, in a minute, if I'm really stuck, if they haven't found me a professional piano player, he said, yeah, I'm just a secretary. I'm just on coffee break. In a minute, I got to go. Just then, God intervened, and he said, Blaney, we're ready for you. Just in time while the guy's still there. So I said, anybody help get me some music? No, you don't need music. I said, well, I just need some noise. I really do. I heard a piano. There's some fellow over there playing a piano. I don't know if it's on a coffee break or what. I don't think it's professional. Could he just continue, just in the background, play that? And what do you think the union's going to say? I don't know. And everything. Oh, well, what the heck? Go ahead, let him play. So I said, can you just keep playing? And boy, he goes in, Lady of Spain, I adore you. And he plays me through, I feel like a bullfighter in the ring. And I'm the matador, and I'm, you know, and everybody's cheering. And then Johnny comes walking over and he says, all right, I'm fooled. I didn't think you could fool me, but you did. And that's the damnedest thing I ever saw. And I've heard about it, and my head's kind of swimming. And I said, are you serious? You really liked? Oh yeah, you'll be great tonight. We'll have fun with you. And I said, look, I know you're busy, and I wouldn't expect you to say yes, but if you wanted to see it, I'll show it to you. He says, I thought you haven't shown it to anybody. And I said, well, I haven't, but you're my #1 idol in the show business. This is the greatest show act could be on, and you're a magician. I know you respect the secret. You're not going to tell anybody, but only if you have maybe 3 or 4 minutes. I don't want to show anybody else, but I'd love to show you if you'd like to see it. Well, of course. And so I go backstage, and he sticks his head out and says, listen up, everybody. It's Johnny. Don't anybody come backstage until you see me come back through this curtain. Everybody got that? Okay. And so we're back there probably 10 minutes. So that night, he let me do my whole birdcage routine, which is like 5 minutes long. And then establish my personality and get laughs and everything, like a comedy act.
1, here we go now. 2, hot dog, look at the diamond in that ring. What do you do when the battery goes dead, Irene? Wow. They got cotton pickers reel. I've never seen one like that. Look at that. That's lovely. It's lovely. Is it real?
Yes.
If it's not, you've been beat out of $3, I'll tell you right.
And then let me do the 3-minute levitation. So I had 8 minutes, but he gave me this 1-minute build-up to start with.
You'll see him do this tonight, and it's very good. He's baffled magicians for 6 or 7 years.
And it's kind of a thrill to be off stage, just out of sight, twirling my fake rope, and you hear Johnny Carsons saying, and now from Texas, we have the Texas Ambassador.
Texas Ambassador of Goodwill, Walter Zany Blaney.
And you hear the Doc Severinsen's NBC Orchestra playing da-da-da-da. And I got 2 ladies up and did all the gags. And one of them was his secretary, Irene Kay. And he wanted me to use her.
Irene Kay.
And where are you from, Irene?
Burbank.
Hey, right here. Okay,
Right.
fine. You're looser than Maddie, aren't you, huh? Believe we got a lot of loose women here tonight. Wonderful.
A sweet little gal, you know, and it's just so cute and so fresh, and was just, how do you get that lucky? I don't know. And I used her in the afternoon, but they thought she was just a lady from the audience. She did it twice, didn't know how it worked, because the lady never knows how it works. And then at the end, he talked about it with Ed McMahon for a full minute.
Yeah. That's Walter Zany Blaney. Now, you saw that.
I saw that.
You're sitting right here.
You know how he did it?
Yeah, well, I'm not going to tell you.
Yeah.
But isn't that a great illusion?
That is sensational.
We thought
That's the
you'd
best I've ever seen.
We thought you'd get a kick out of that.
And you couldn't buy that time. If I was Budweiser beer, you know what that minute would cost? And it was pure advertisement for me. And I'm just thinking, oh, I'm so lucky in show business. But I fought long and hard to get on the #1 show, you know. And at any rate, what a thrill that was.